got 85 hundreds of transactions that we approved, and we have no idea. It's just odd that we approve it, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to look at it, but it's another thing to say we bless it, and we have no idea what it is.
I do wonder about engine oil. 2025 for something on this additional register turn-on. Which, like, that's great that we're using a shopping account. I just didn't know if enterprise.
Yeah, they're in the local, like I still have a signed projection as a local land. So it's kind of built from all of that to be like an authorized shop.
I appreciate that rather than having to graphic always line.
And so she OD'd on her second
Although $200.
I know, when I got to work, well, well, I had it right. Mine was definitely yes, but I can't really work. I slept a lot. I still in my first year, so I still there and just
Call this meeting to order and ask you to please rise, if you're able, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Welcome to the City Council meeting, Lindsborg, Kansas, February 17th, 2025. We'll now turn our attention to item number 3, public input. Do we have any public input this evening? Thank you. Item 4, amendments. Are there any amendments to the agenda this evening?
There are no amendments.
Thank you. Item number 5, the mayor's report, and we have a city administrator who had a birthday yesterday. So we want to acknowledge that and hope that it was a happy birthday, and we will have a sort of a birthday week this week in the snow. And anyways, and thank you, Christy, for everything that you do. And we have a city council member, Councilmember Vanderwick, is having a birthday on Wednesday. So we have 2 people. We thank you, Councilmember Vanderwick, for all your service to your community as well. Lastly, the Bethany College. Want to acknowledge that the board of Bethany College has been working diligently in trying to come up with some candidates, and the search committee. And we brought 3 candidates, as you all know, over the last 2 weeks to the college. And there was great participation by this body, by the city, by some of the staff of the city, and that is very commendable. And it was each session was full, a lot of interest from the community, and I commend the search committee and the board for bringing the community into that to the discussion. And hopefully we'll have a president in the future. And so I just want to, the city, as you all know, has been intertwined with Bethany College since the founding of the college, and remains there. And so we are hopeful that we're going to get a new president and have good days ahead. So thank you to all of you and to them. Turn our attention to item 6, the consent agenda. And the consent agenda this evening has 4 items: the approval of minutes from the meeting February 3rd, payroll ordinance number 5522, purchase order ordinance number 5523, and audit of funds. These items are routine and acted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member so requests. So is there a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the motion? Seeing no questions, we'll ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Councilmembers Peterson,
Yeah.
Vanderway,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Siebel,
Yes.
Presley,
Yes.
Corwin.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. Thank you, Roxy. Item 7, committee reports. I don't believe we have any this evening.
That is correct.
And item number 8, is there any old business to come before us this evening?
There is no.
Thank you. Item number 9, new business, and we will start with item A, which is the replacement of 2 motors. And I will recognize Noah Flores, our Parks Director. Welcome, Noah.
Thank you. Good evening, council, mayor. I come before you to speak about the purchase of 2 mowers for our parks department. Currently, we have 2 mowers that we use that we mow trail, parks, and other city property. One of these mowers is also used during the winter time to move snow downtown. So I had sent out some bid requests to our local grasshopper dealer. I only requested a bid from them because we are now, we have dedicated attachments and invested in a cab and a hydraulic blade attachment. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to switch. And we're also very happy with what we have. The design of the grasshopper does well in the snow. So I felt no need to go out and try to rebid. And I have done that in the past. And I just found that what we have now, as far as the system, is working for us. So I had requested a bid on 2 similar mowers that we already have, a front mount and a mid mount. I was told that the models that we currently have, are no longer being made, so we either have to upgrade or downgrade. So I decided to upgrade just because of the size and the amount of hours we put on our machines. So I got two bids, one of $8,616.80 for the front mount, and then another bid for $6,530.50 for the mid mount. And so the total cost with trade-in is $15,147.30. I recommend a motion to approve the purchase of 2 grasshopper mowers for the amount of $15,147.30 from Mowbridge Manufacturing.
Thank you, Noah. Are there questions from the council for Noah? Councilmember Pierce.
Just have one since you brought it up, and that was you had a choice between upgrading and downgrading. I'm just curious what the difference in price was between upgrading and
Sure.
downgrading.
So I asked our rep as well. I said, what's our option? And he told me that there's a $1,000 downgrade, so it's $1,000 cheaper. But he highly recommended not going that route because of the size of the deck we have and just the pure amount of hours and different properties we mow.
So just that's reasons.
Councilmember Swanson.
No, you said one of them has a cab.
Yeah, so we invested in a cab for the front mount mower. It's not heated, but it keeps off a lot of the wind.
Right.
And it's very useful.
So that cab will transfer over to the new
Transfers
mower
over to the new one.
without reducing the trade-in value of the old mower.
That's correct.
Okay.
Are there other grasshopper dealers that we could get quotes from, or is that?
There is. We're going basically to Mountain Ridge, which is the original grasshopper, which we've used for as far as I know, since the 70s. We've had them that long. So I decided not to deviate from going from anywhere else.
Further questions?
Now I use one for pushing snow.
Yeah.
Will the new one also be able to push snow? So
Yeah, so we're doing direct replacement as far as the models. When I said we had to upgrade, it was just an engine upgrade, like maybe some other small stuff, but basically the same units.
dual row.
Further questions? No. Seeing no further questions, thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
Council, the recommendation is for a motion to approve the purchase of 2 grasshopper mowers for $15,147.30 from Mow Ridge Manufacturing Incorporated. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the motion? Councilman Peterson?
We're splitting hairs here, but it's $147.30 more than budgeted. What does that mean?
Well, that just means that we'll manage the budget accordingly to not spend $147 more.
I assume that.
Thank you, Councilman. Any further questions on the motion? Seeing no further questions, we'll have our city clerk call roll, please.
Councilmembers Corwin,
Yes.
Presley,
Yes.
Eagle,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Vanderway,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Thank you, council. Thank you, Roxy. Turn our attention to item B, which is the Kansas Rural Water Association voting delegate, and I will recognize City Administrator Christy Northcutt.
Thank you, Mayor. Each year, the Kansas Rural Water Association holds an annual conference, and during that conference, they hold a business meeting that's taking place this year in Wichita, and the business meeting is on March 27th. I provided a link for you in your packet so that you could review the agenda and all of the sessions that are taking place at that conference. It's more than 60 pages, if you clicked on it and saw. It's a lot of information that'll be thrown at our staff, but all very good information. Lots going on in water right now. A lot of sessions, expert speakers on issues that are pertinent to Lindsborg. Each member city is asked to provide a voting delegate to vote on business matters associated with the association. During the business meeting, we're also asked to provide an alternative delegate if our delegate is unable to attend. The association requires notice of our delegate selections prior to March 16th in order for delegates to receive their information for the meeting. So Interim Public Works Director Denny Walker will be attending the conference on behalf of the city. So I'm recommending that he serve as the voting delegate pending City Council's approval. If he is unable to attend for any reason, lead wastewater operator Cutler Coombs will serve as the voting alternative. So my recommendation is a motion to approve Denny Walker as the voting delegate to the Kansas Rural Water Association Conference, with Cutler Coombs serving as an alternate.
Thank you, Christy. Are there questions for our city administrator? Seeing no questions, you heard the recommendation from our city administrator. Is there a motion?
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Are there questions on the motion? Seeing no questions, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes appear to have it. Ayes do have it. Thank you, council. Thank you, Christy. We will once again, on the subject of renewable energy certificates, correct, we will once again recognize our city administrator, Christy Northcutt.
Thank you, Mayor. I ask for your patience as I present this. In the past, Chris Lindholm was able to present this, and he knew a lot more about the details of this, but I will do my best. We have a purchase power agreement, as you know, with Buckeye Wind Farm as part of our energy portfolio. As such, we earn renewable energy certificates for our share of generation from Buckeye. These certificates represent the technology and environmental attributes of electricity generated from renewable sources. They're usually sold in 1 megawatt hour increments. The certificate can be sold separately from the underlying generic electricity with which it is associated. Once the REC is sold, it is no longer considered renewable. The Buckeye Wind RECs are created in the NAR registry each month. For those wondering, the NAR is the North American Renewables Registry, and assigned a unique value and identification number. So each year we have two options. We can either sell our renewable energy certificates, which is what we have always done. We have had a share of Buckeye since 2017, and every year council has elected to sell those recs. Doing so relinquishes our environmental attributes. They are marketed in a timely manner, and they can only be sold forward. So by voting tonight, you're selling forward the 2025 recs. We also have the option to retire them. This is often done if we have a lot of renewables in our portfolio, so that you can make a public claim about being green, satisfy a renewable energy portfolio goal, or things like that. The retired recs cannot be sold or claimed later if you retire them. Because we only have Buckeye Wind Farm as renewable in our portfolio, it's made the most sense to sell our recs in the past. So KMEA provides the table that you see in your packet. We have 1 megawatt, and at a 40.9 capacity factor, which varies, but that's the 36-month average, we would be getting about $7,166 in revenue that would go into our electric fund. So that's by selling the recs. That's not guaranteed that amount, but that's what KMEA is saying that they would market for at this moment. So based on previous experience with City Council and with our energy portfolio, I recommend a motion to approve the Kansas Municipal Energy Agency to sell the vintage 2025 renewable energy credits from the Buckeye Wind Farm for the benefit of the city of Lindsborg.
Thank you, Christy. Are there questions for our city administrator from council? Councilmember Swanson?
Same question I had last time this came around, like who's buying the credits, right?
I think that I forgot to ask KMEA that. I even looked back at your question from last year.
Right.
I believe that it's other entities that have more renewables in their portfolio.
That
So
want
by-
to look like they have even more renewables
Correct.
in their portfolio.
They would be buying additional energy certificates to add to their portfolio.
Reduce their carbon footprint on paper.
Correct.
Paper carbon. Okay. Thank you.
Councilmember
Peterson, this is really getting into it, but, so if we were to sell these, who we sell it to, could they then resell it for even more money? Is there like a secondary or post-secondary market that these are like, I guess, I don't understand that whole industry, but I just wondered if we sell these for $7,100 and someone flips it and they get 20,000 out of it. I don't know if that exists or not, or
Black
what.
market certificates.
I don't know if it impact us or not, but I'm curious.
It says once we sell them, it cannot be.
I thought I read that. Yeah.
No, once they're retired, they can't be
Once
sold.
it's retired, you can't have that, I do. Anyway, just a curiosity question, not important for tonight's motion.
I'm reading through the fine print. You might be able to answer that in just a moment. It says official tracking systems in the NAR ensure that recs are not double counted. So I would assume that means once we sell them, they cannot be sold again, because they cannot be double counted. I don't know that to be true, but that's what the fine print says. However, then later it says, by selling a rec, the environmental attributes can then be transferred to another entity in exchange for revenue. Well, no, it would be our entity, yeah. We're selling it so that the buyer can meet a voluntary standard or comply with the renewable energy standard. I would be happy to ask Candy that question when we get back to
Yeah,
you.
I'm curious. I don't know if that marketplace exists out there or if you just sell it once and that's all there is to it.
Further questions for our city administrator on renewable energy certificates? Seeing no further questions, the recommendation is for a motion to approve the Kansas Municipal Energy Agency to sell the vintage 2025 renewable energy credits from the Buckeye Wind Farm for the benefit of the city of Lindsborg. Is there a motion?
So. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the motion? Seeing no questions, we'll have our city clerk call roll, please.
Councilmembers Bruce,
Yes.
Hebel,
Yes.
Presley,
Yes.
Corwin,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vanderway,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Thank you, council. Thank you, Roxy. We'll now turn our attention to item D, which is the Chalk Bulk Featured Artist Agreement, and I will recognize Holly Lofton, our CVB Director. Welcome, Holly.
Tonight, I'm just bringing something pretty simple before you. I have a contract that I just need approval for. We have been working diligently now for about 3 or 4 months, trying to get details finalized and finally nailed down a contract that our city attorney has reviewed, and we made some changes to based upon his recommendations to hire an artist. And we have a $6,000 grant we've received that will pay the entire cost of this. We're working with Salina Arts and Humanities to bring David Zinn here. David has about 1.7 followers on Instagram and 1.3 million followers on Facebook. He's a very well-known chalk artist. And we think that this will bring a lot of liveliness and a lot of following to this event. Over the last 2 weeks, we've mailed out invitations to every high school, every public high school and public middle school art department in the state of Kansas. We've also invited every private high school and private middle school as well that has these programs. We're still working on a homeschool list, and that's been a little bit harder for us to nail down, but we have been sending some of those letters out. It's just been a harder list to find. But anyway, we've been working on that. This event will run in conjunction with Messiah Festival of the Arts. It just so happens that the timing was really good for that this year, and so we'll be adding this as a Saturday option during that time, and it's going to partner with Bethany College. We've been partnering with Lindsborg Arts Council, who's going to give us additional dollars to help with some of the prize money for that day. So the way it looks, everything should be covered expense-wise for that day. I'm excited about it, and I just need approval for the contract to be signed.
Thank you, Holly. Are there questions for our CVB Director on the council?
I don't have a question, I just want to comment that I appreciate all the work that you do, and you do such interesting things and bringing new and different audiences to Lindsborg, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome, but this has really been a joint effort, and city staff has been greatly
Even
helpful.
better.
Lauren and Noah have both been helping with this. We're running the registrations through our rec department website because we can capture all of the email addresses and information to utilize for another year. And we can also do payments online ahead of time, which saves us a lot of money the day of, and lunch registrations. The college is offering a $25,000 scholarships for qualifying students that also submit portfolio work. And so we believe that this hopefully will bring some new students to Bethany College as well. And so we just feel like this is a great thing. We've done this a couple times in the past. I think just last year, the year before, I'm trying to think. Do you remember, was it last year or the year before, Noah, that you did the chalk down at the park?
The Riverside Shopping Mall.
Last year, and it was well attended. And then probably about 3 or 4 years before that, we brought an artist out of Oklahoma. And do you remember the art downtown on the sidewalk in front of the bank that I about passed out when I realized they'd used oil pastels and it was going to be there for longer than 2 minutes rain? And I thought, oh, the bank's going to kill me. And they didn't. People interacted with that crazy thing until it finally washed off the sidewalk. And so we had months of good out of it. So anyway, David Zinn will be coming on Thursday and Friday and Saturday and working with students and then creating around the community. And we'll be able to put together an electronic map and drop pins on those. We're working with Jim Turner to be able to, he's going to take some drone photography of the trail as well as following him around. My goal is 400 students. That's what I would love to see coming. So I have been, as I've been sitting here hitting out invites on my phone, because we have to do them one at a time from our Visit Lindsborg page, and I maxed it out. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so we just put that on the social media this evening as I stayed late and didn't go home between work and this, and got all of that done so that I know it's done for the week in case we get snow. I figure everybody will see it. So looking forward to that.
Councilmember Smith?
About how many locations and what sidewalks are we talking?
So we're going to be utilizing the trail. We have 4.5 miles of trail, and so right now we're planning on starting at Lincoln Street and heading north. All of our bus parking will be at the college. The college agreed that that was probably the best place that we could put everyone, and so we have several parking lots there we'll be able to use as well as streets. And we'll start numbering the sidewalk. We'll spray number them next to the sidewalk so that everyone will have their square assignments before they arrive. And they'll just have to pick up their final packets, but they'll be able to drop off students and get started. We have Hallmark artists that will be coming to help judge and do a Q&A in the afternoon along with David Zinn to talk about what you can do for art as a career, which is a great opportunity, I think, for students. And the Hallmark artists are so excited about coming that they were willing to come for free. So I'm still trying to work on getting some dollars together to pay each one of them $300. And I think I have that worked out with some Arts on the Prairie money that we had left. Even if it means that the money they were paying me for a logo design just goes back to it, that's great. But anyway, so it just is a lot of fun. But anyway, what was I telling you about? You asked for how many, so I don't know how many squares that is. We have yet to count it. But we plan to leave the south portion of the trail open for runners and bikers and that kind of thing, so we don't have as many complaints about people not being able to use the trail that day. The downtown businesses will be doing some of their own thing as well. What I started to tell you, I lost my train of thought. Hallmark artists are telling their professional chalk artist competition friends about it. And so we've been receiving phone calls now saying we're telling our friends about this. We need 2 more days though to be able to do stuff, and so we've opened it up for them to come as early as Thursday to begin working on their squares, because they say a 10 by 10, which is about the average size of the squares along the trail, takes about 2 to 3 days to finish. So prize money isn't as big as it is in some competitions. Our top 2 prizes are $500 for the top 2 categories, and then we did, I think, $250 or $300. I need to look back at my notes for the middle school. But it's enough to, it's enough to be enticing, I think. So, but if we would have 400 students do the math, if we had $10 a piece, how much money do we have to set aside for next year? So my goal is that next year, hopefully, it'll be well enough known that we wouldn't have to do grant dollars again or raise money for it. We would just have money set aside. So that's the goal.
Councilmember Peterson?
Will the drawings that are maybe done downtown be included in the competition?
No,
or?
you have to purchase a $10 score to compete along the trail, and that makes it easier for the judges to know what to do. But we're asking the businesses downtown to hire artists, and Ron Michael was great to provide a spreadsheet with names and contact information. And so businesses can go ahead and contact those individuals, or they can leave their sidewalks just open for people to create. And I've already purchased like 10 big boxes of chalk for that, so that's ready to go already. So, yeah.
Further questions? Seeing no further questions, thank you, Holly.
Yes.
Council, you've heard the recommendation, which is a motion to approve the contract for David Zinn in the amount of $8,355 with MOU repayment from Salina Arts and Humanities in the amount of $3,500. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the motion? Seeing no questions, we'll ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Councilmembers Presley,
Yes.
Corwin,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Vanderway,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Siegel.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. Thank you, Roxy. We'll turn our attention to item E, which is the CMB licenses. There are two of them, two resolutions this evening. We will do them separately. And so we will begin with number 1, and I will recognize our city clerk, Roxy Schubert.
The Smoky Valley Arts and Folklife Center submitted a notification of nonprofit organization event promoting the arts to be able to serve complimentary alcoholic beverages at their 2025 events that we have provided in your packet. So we are just looking for a motion to approve the Smoky Valley Arts and Folklife Center notification of nonprofit organization event promoting the arts form and pass resolution number 2-2025 authorizing the serving of complimentary alcoholic liquor and cereal malt beverages at their 2025 events.
Thank you, Roxy. Are there questions for our city clerk? Seeing no questions, you heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the motion? Seeing no questions, we will ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Councilmembers Vanderway,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Corwin,
Yes.
Presley,
Yes.
Evil,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Thank you, council. We will once again recognize our city clerk, Roxy Schubert.
This time it's the Raymer Society for the Arts that has submitted the notification of nonprofit organization event promoting the arts application to be able to serve alcoholic beverages at their 2025 events, and they only have 4 of them listed for the remainder of the year. So we are looking for a motion to approve the Raymer Society for the Arts notification of nonprofit organization event promoting the arts form and pass resolution number 3-2025 authorizing the serving of complimentary alcoholic liquor or cereal malt beverages at their 2025 events as listed.
Thank you, Roxy. Are there questions for our city clerk? Seeing no questions, you heard the recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the motion? Seeing no questions, we will ask our city clerk to call roll, please.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Evil,
Yes.
Presley,
Yes.
Corwin,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Vanderway,
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Thank you, council, and thank you, Roxy. Item 10, executive session. I don't believe we have a need for executive session this evening. Item 11, is there other business to come before us this evening?
I just have a question, a follow-up to, we had a discussion about the diversion channel at the last meeting, and I saw in the meeting minutes that that the staff was looking for direction from council as to what the next steps were. So, I don't know, I just kind of thought in the last meeting, our direction was to pursue that. Was that the general consensus?
I think what we are doing is we're gathering some other information, and I would suspect, do we have a schedule for the next meeting? Or we don't
We don't have anything
specifically, we will reschedule.
Very good.
You will hear about it again.
Okay.
I promise.
Well, I didn't think it was probably going away. I just didn't know how soon it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, thank you. Okay, seeing no further business to come before the council this evening, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion, and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you, council, for your attention and attendance.
I think it was